Amy, you host your yearly program-wide event virtually on Socio's platform, and I'm sure it was a challenge for you to pivot from in person to virtual. Can you walk us through some of the experiences your attendees had and how you were able to create a space where they can still have meaningful engagement, even though it was virtual?
Yeah, so with our program, our employees are spread out across the country and they rarely get the opportunity to interact with one another. They may only get to see their neighboring coworkers a few times a year, and then people from across the country once a year at our yearly HP Connect event. And so it was certainly a challenge to go from this in-person event to completely virtual, but I think that we certainly pulled it off, and that was all really attributed to the fact that the Socio platform really allowed us to pull that off very well. So one of the important things for us was that we wanted to make sure that our attendees were really familiar with the platform beforehand to minimize some of the technical difficulties that could come up otherwise. So what we did was we created a walkthrough for them and aired that on one of our weekly program meetings. And so that gave them a nice introduction to the platform. But we also opened up the app a few days early before the event, and we encouraged them to get in there and start exploring on their own before the event so that they would be really comfortable with the platform. So I think that really worked out very well. Another thing that we did was we really took full advantage of Socio's social wall feature. This is HP Connect, so we want everybody to have a fun time connecting with one another. And we did create profiles for everybody that we registered. So everybody had a profile picture, so that when they connected with one another, they could put a face to a name. And they really loved the social wall feature. It was so awesome to see them getting in there and posting pictures of their workstations and their family and their pets, and just having a really good time posting things in that social wall and making those connections even after each session was over. So that was really, really awesome to see. And it happened so naturally too. Another feature that was a really big hit with our attendees was the gaming feature in Socio. So we really loved that feature because of the fact that it was simple enough for anybody to get into the game and start playing. But it was also really flexible so that we could customize it to our liking. And what we ended up doing was we pretty much placed game codes everywhere we possibly could. So we put them in the walkthrough video. We put them in every feature that we were using within the Socio platform to also get them engaged and get exploring the application. We also put them in our pre-event work that they had to complete prior to the event. We put them in our session surveys. We even had them pop up in the broadcast so that we could make sure that they were paying attention to the content. We were even throwing them in the announcements and into the social wall to make them really, really use those features and connect. And they absolutely loved it. I mean, everybody was playing the game. We had a lot of great friendly competition going on there. So that was really amazing to see. Some other things that we did was we sent them all some Connect swag gear. So they always love that gear every year, and we related it to some of the activities that we would also be doing. So one thing that we did was we created a talent show that was optional, and so some of our attendees definitely took us up on that offer and showed off their talents, and everybody loved watching that, even if they didn't do a talent show entry themselves, because they got to see some of the unique abilities of our team members. And then we also, on the last night of the event, invited a Food Network chef to show us how to make a really delicious dish. And so we invited a few of our attendees to cook alongside of her. And so they had such a good time, and then everybody was having a great time cooking along with her, watching their teammates, and then just watching the engagement. And so they had a lot of fun with that. And I think they really loved the fact that we had a celebrity chef just for them for this event. So we did a lot to keep them engaged and keep them connected and have them have fun at the same time. And I think that was really important for our event. And to see some of the feedback, they ate it up. They said that this was a 5-star event, that this was our best Connect ever, and that they wish that we could have Connect every single month. So to have that kind of feedback, I think really speaks to not just what we did to make it a fun event for them, but also the fact that we were able to really leverage the power of Socio.
Well, congratulations on a successful event. And, my big takeaway from this is, as a person that attends a lot of events, I can tell you I get bored out of my skull listening to presentation after presentation after presentation. But you seem to have nailed it on the ability to keep people engaged. I love the gaming aspect of it as well. One of the pieces of advice I give IT pros now and CIOs: hire gamers, because the gamification of business is certainly becoming a bigger part of every organization's strategy.